Hello there, it's the General Opposition Podcast, and today the topic that I'm going to be discussing is hate speech and free speech, and how which one is the best alternative. Let's start off, so what's free speech? So the free speech is, so the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution is the freedom of religion, speech, and the press. Rights of assembly and petition. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or of the right of the people peaceably to assemble, and to petition the government for redress or of grievances. So there it says, Congress shall not pass any law saying that you cannot speak, basically. You cannot choose your religion or any of that. And I agree with that. I think that you should be allowed to speak in your mind. I don't really care. Anything you say, just speak. It's freedom of speech, and that is a great thing about America. Now you got new people, more leftist, really and truly, that want to ban hate speech. So, first of all, let's define hate speech. Hate speech is subjective to a person, though. So hate speech is, I believe, when you just directly say something to hurt somebody, or when there's something that's said that's taken offensively, something to the effect of that. But it's so subjective. So banning hate speech would mean that if you walk down the street and call a guy a turkey, and he was very, very offended over it, then you could get in trouble with the law. Because maybe he doesn't care if you call him whatever else bad name, but he just doesn't like being called turkey. So, and it's a very, very weird thing, because it's just dumb how you could say ban hate speech. Well, like I said, hate speech is so subjective. Like, what is hate speech? Tell me where you draw the line, what words. And it's just a word. It's just a word. It's not like walking up to somebody and stabbing them. That's not the equivalent of walking up to somebody and calling them a turkey. It's not the equivalent. It's just not. Those two do not line up with each other. Freedom of speech has made America great. And one of the things that has made America great. And there are people on the left especially trying to take this from us. People on the extreme right too, trying to silence the other side. I don't like how the media is left-wing, but I don't think it should be silenced. There's freedom of the press. There's freedom for them to say whatever they want. And, there's cancerous news organizations like BuzzFeed and Vox with a V, and those people that are far extremists, and there's some on the right. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but there are some on the right, that is for sure. It's not just the left, more so on the left, because they have the media pretty much in the palm of their hand, and they can manipulate, and they can say, okay, well, Donald Trump is a Russian spy, make up a conspiracy theory, let it go on for 2.5 years, and then we find out again it's just a made-up conspiracy theory that pretty much had no evidence behind it whatsoever. I mean, he's a billionaire. It's like they're trying to find some dirt on him so they can get him in trouble, so they don't have this president. And it really just made them look like idiots. But that's all right. They have the right to look like idiots. They have the free speech. They have freedom of the press. They're allowed to do that. So, yeah, hate speech. If someone walks up to me, I don't really care what you say to me. I don't care. You can tell me whatever you want. I don't care. Maybe you're hateful. I don't care. I don't care about you. You don't care about me. Who cares? It's just a word. That's how I feel about it. But I understand some people are more sensitive than others, but you're not going to. It's not going to be okay to stab a guy that's tougher than to stab a guy that's weaker. They're both stabbing crimes. You killed both of them. It's not less okay to kill a strong person than it is to kill a depressed person. It was like, oh, that depressed person was already depressed anyway, wanted to die. No, they're both murder. You murdered a person. It's like you can't draw the line based off of one's feelings, and that's the problem here. You're getting off feelings and less of facts. People are afraid to see the truth. They don't want to hear the things that are true about them that they need to improve. They don't want to hear that. They want the law to save their feelings, and that's really the problem with hate speech, really and truly. And free speech is. I don't think that I brought this up in my last podcast. In a movie theater, don't yell fire. I mean, it's kind of like that. It's the basic idea. If you're in a movie theater, don't yell fire. That's a really common scenario. And then I want to get to another part. Okay, so freedom of religion. Okay, so this gets a lot of people confused because you have religions like, okay, say radical Islam. Okay, so there's no laws that saying you cannot be a Muslim. But there is law saying that you can't act upon, not saying in exact words, but some of the radical Islamic beliefs. And if you stone a woman for committing adultery, then you should go to prison or get the death penalty for murdering somebody. We do not live under Sharia law, and we never will. But that does not mean that you cannot be Muslim. If you're a Muslim, if you're gonna just practice your religion, don't hurt anybody, you're cool. I don't care. You do you, man. I'm a Christian, and I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not walking around smacking people on top of the head with the Bible. And there's those people out there doing that. There's people that's killing the abortion clinics, making themselves look like idiots. But like, if your religion has violence behind it, you can still practice your religion without the violence behind it. And if it's impossible, then you need to get out of America or get behind bars. Like, practice your religion. I don't care what you call your God. If you call him, Muhammad, or I think that's what, is that one of the prophets in Islamic? I don't know. I don't really know all of it. If you call him Yahweh, if you call him Jesus Christ, that's of course it's the same religion. I don't care what you call your God, as long as you have the core beliefs of an American citizen and you believe it. You do not, as long as you're not hurting anybody. I don't care. That's really, if you're an American citizen, you're paying your taxes, you're doing everything that you can to be a good person. If you're not hurting anybody, I don't care what your religion is. Go for it. It's your business, not mine. Like, I mean, there's Christians out there who will go protest at Christian rock concerts because it's devil music, but it's Christian rock. It's idiotic. It's very idiotic. Some of the people these days, extremists. I mean, that's really the problem. Is the extremists on the right and the left? Because I would say the extreme Christians are more on the right. They do want to silence those on the left, and they want to silence those with other religions because there is factual backings behind science. I'm still a Christian, but I think that science also has some evidence. Not evolution. I don't believe that evolution is true. I think it's stupid. I think it's a dumb concept. I really don't see how something that is a fish can turn into a human. I don't think that there's really any genetic mutation to give the fish ability to grow lungs and get into the air, even over billions of years. And the theory is that you have like a feature that was supposed to be superior. I don't see how a piece of a lung would be superior, but I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked off of the speech thing. But but that's fine. Like, if they want to believe that, that's what they believe. I don't believe it, and That's my business. You don't have to believe what I do. People think I'm crazy. That's all right. I mean, if we didn't have freedom of speech, I mean, I would say people wouldn't be able to record podcasts like this where they're talking about things like radical and crazy people. But, it's kind of thinking, well, YouTube does take people down. Like recently, Hunter Avallone got banned off of YouTube and for like a whole day. They brought it back, no warnings, nothing. He just got took down by YouTube. And people are getting silenced. And like that movie Unplanned, the Twitter account got banned. I'm not sure if it's back up yet. I think it is. I could be wrong. But yeah, it's very corrupt because but those businesses, those are private businesses. They're not ran by the government. They shouldn't have to leave what they want, but it's still corrupt. I mean, just because it's just because they can doesn't mean it's okay. That's, what I mean? Like it's not, it's dumb for you to say, if your belief requires you to silence those on the other side, then you must not have a very, very strong belief. If you believe that those on your side, if they hear the other side, they'll be converted, then your belief is very weak. I look at CNN, I look at MSNBC, I look at Fox, I look at Daily Wire, I look at ABC, I look at the Feminist Network, I look at the NRA, I look at everything. I did follow PETA, but they blocked me. But if you are able to gather information from everybody to form your opinion, then that's the way to go, and that's what I'm trying to do. And it's annoying to have to listen to those that think differently and not have a say so. Like, you can't just talk to the TV and they answer you. But I know some people on the left, they don't watch Fox because they get mad at listening to the reporters. Because I mean, the Fox isn't really news anymore. It's just talking people. It's like a bunch of talk show hosts. That's really all it is now. I don't know, like any news organization at this point. That's why I read news. But I got sidetracked again. I'm sorry, but so the basic concept is like you should be able to say whatever you want as long as it does not cause physical harm to somebody else. Do not yell fire in the movie theater. Somebody might get trampled. If you yell in the movie theater because something scared you, that's okay. And if somebody wants to call you out on it, that's okay. If you want to get mad about it, that's okay. When you get in a fight, that's not okay. Like a fist fight is what I mean. Yelling fight, it's not a fight yet. It's not harm until it's physical. There is, of course, mental harm. You can be mentally harmed, of course. But we shall not be silencing each other. And I want to recommend y'all a song to close out this video before I forget. It's called "Eye of the Beholder" by Metallica. And it's on the Injustice for All album. The whole album is awesome, but that song, it's kind of talks about freedom and independence limited and freedom of speech with words that they'll ban, and pretty much, yeah, I definitely recommend it. It's a good song, but that's gonna be it for now, guys. I'll see y'all later. God bless. Make America great again.